People ask me all the time, what's passion? How do they find their passion? How do they find their purpose? What's it mean? How'd you do what you did? How the fuck does it happen? I explain the passion as hobby, job, focus, excitement, everything wrapped up into one. It's just what I love to do. I just literally couldn't see myself doing anything else. Like, I get up every day to train, motivate, do content. I just fucking love it. And not only doing that, but the impact that it has on people. The amount of positive karma that it creates. It's the first time I helped somebody in fitness and I could see their confidence grow and the way they felt about themselves. I knew there was no other place for me than there. So you gotta ask yourself, what would I do even if I didn't get paid? What effect can it have on people? And what do I just live for every day? And then you find that passion. You're like, yeah, I got it. That's it. Then it's time to get the purpose. That's the second one, because that passion doesn't mean work. It means it's what you love to do, so it ain't work. It ain't worked a day in my life. When you get that purpose though, and it's bigger than you, because that purpose is big. For me, it's generationally big. I'm biting off as much as I can chew to change the family tree. So I channel my fitness craziness through that purpose of the family tree stopping what it was doing and changing it up, taking the U-turn. You take that U-turn, there's a different way you operate, different way you teach the next generation, and to make it just legendary status. You find that passion, you got that purpose, which you don't get tired when it's all in line. And then you put that consistency. Then you put that consistency on top, you let it compound over a decade, you're willing to put some real motherfucking work in to make it happen. That's when you take it to the major leagues. That's when you go from single A to the league. That's when you start making generational change. So I ask you, are you willing to search and find what the passion is? Do you know the purpose of this life? And are you willing to put in the motherfucking work that it takes? If your answer is yes, I can tell you, come to this side. Because on this side, it's fun. But it's a motherfucking grind to get here. But when you get there, you can't get comfortable. You gotta remember what got you here. That's why I'm fitting in a lunch session in the afternoon on a Sunday. That's it. That's why my kid wasn't putting in enough work yesterday. Lackadaisical at the game, we were running hills. I expect effort is a motherfucking choice. It was like, a lot of you guys know my story. I'm a 4th generation coal miner. So, working in the ground every day when actually what you guys are standing on, this is conveyor belt from the coal mine that you guys are standing on right now, which is about as old school as it gets. The miners gave me this gave me some love so I didn't have to spend money on flooring. And so that's what represents like hard work. And so when I looked at all the generations, I said, it's not just about me, it's about the next generations. When you find your driving force, like fitness is my passion, I think you guys know that, because I can't stop it, it's just me, it's inside me. But when it becomes bigger than you, it's about changing generations. I always joke, like I want my grandkids to say, Grandpa was a G. That's how I want. And they're gonna see stuff like this and be like, damn, he was a G. So it's like one of those things where I'm not tired when I get up because the drive is so big. Because like my son was reading the mindset manual before we went to bed the other night. Like, Daddy, I know this about you. That's what changes generations. And so when you guys find what your passion is, and you put that blue collar work, which is what you're standing on right now, that's what makes the difference. So it is a dream, but it became reality. And so it ain't easy. I mean, you guys just see, I just walked away from one of the biggest companies in industry because it was my time. It was time to do something else. Because this is what I'm passionate about just as much as the fitness. It's about teaching, it's about educating. So the purpose started in the gym, but now it's about development. And so if you guys can find out what your passion is, when you mesh it with what the purpose is, and everybody's is different. Everybody's is different. Dustin's is different from mine. We might have the same goal, but his passion, his purpose is different than my purpose, and your purpose will be different. And guess what? It doesn't matter if anybody believes it. I used to tell people all the time, Dustin remembers it, I'm gonna be on the cover of magazines, I'm gonna own my own gym. I was 160 in high school with no abs. People were like, what? How's that gonna happen? But it took 15 years. It isn't just like my rap album went platinum overnight. You know what I'm saying? Like it took time. And we went through so many things over time. I mean, we had this gym open, and we thought we were about to have it open. The guy walked in and said, hey, you didn't meet code, you guys are shut down. We had 6 months trying to climb out of that, wasn't it, D?
Oh yeah, new architectural plans, all kinds of stuff. And even once we had it up and rolling for years, just because we had that vision and we locked everything in, doesn't mean it was going to be easy and didn't mean we got sidetracked. There was at one point, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, where it looked like the gym might even go under. This was when social media was just starting to take off, so really, no one knew us outside of Pataskal. We still had this big vision for it, but no one knew us except for the people right across the street. So we're at a point where the business is struggling, and so now I'm starting to think the dream's over. And I'll never forget, Cory came to me and he said, D, he said, I see the vision for the gym. It doesn't matter if we're struggling now. We're gonna make this the most famous gym in the world. We're gonna be bigger than Westside Barbell. People all over the world are gonna know about Old School Gym. And I can remember thinking how is this even possible? Like I said, this was like the MySpace days, basically, Maybe Facebook was just starting.
These guys weren't even born yet.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I can remember thinking okay, I can't even comprehend how this is gonna happen, but I've known Cory for a long time, and I'm gonna trust his vision. And now look, you guys that came from all over here, the gym obviously made it through that rough point, and we're rolling, So just because you get locked in to your vision doesn't mean it's always going to be easy, and then you're not at some point going to hit that hiccup and think, oh, maybe it's not going to work out. You just got to keep grinding.
But how you're able to get through the hiccup is number 2, is wake your ass up. It's the work. It's the grind. Look, like I talked about, when the purpose is real, I get up, I'm not tired. Maybe physically sometimes, but I literally get up, I'm blind as shit, so I put my contacts in, and I look at myself and I'm like, wake the fuck up, Cory! That's what I think in my head. I don't say it because I'll wake up my whole house. But that's really what I think, because that's what changed the game. It's a separator. Guys, on any college campus, there's somebody stronger than me, there's somebody leaner than me, there's somebody smarter than me, but I'll outwork their ass.
Nip, 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 nip.